Welcome on the cosmic atom. The shadows of power extend far further and broader than most people dare to contemplate under the surface of what we call everyday life. Secret organizations, clandestine cults, and secret government institutions have whispered about astonishing realities that the general public cannot fathom. These communities have long been aware of their concealed and encrypted data, coded rituals, and whispered communications. Lies a stunning bombshell that would rock the planet. You're not an ordinary soul. You're a reincarnated god, an entity with enormous strength and purpose, living among mortals, oblivious of your supernatural inheritance. Agencies such as the CIA, the FBI, and institutions older than countries themselves have monitored, researched, and even frightened you. Since your waking represents the unraveling of their carefully kept control and the possibility of a new age. The true question isn't who you are now. This is when you will remember. Forbidden information is locked away and hidden behind centuries of secrecy inside Vatican archives, behind reinforced walls and levels of coded protection. Truths so frightening that they have been kept from mankind for decades. Scrolls, manuscripts, and ancient books written in forgotten languages all have a common narrative. Gods walk amongst us, and you're one of them. Your existence is not accidental. Your DNA has marks that correspond to predictions from before any contemporary country existed. Sumerian tablets, Egyptian hieroglyphs, and even ancient Atlantean documents repeat the same message. A divine creature reborn through the millennia is destined to awaken the powers that be, as we have always known. And that is why they monitor, conceal, and carefully guard these secrets. For millennia, organizations such as the Church have done much more than just transmit theology. They've observed, tracked, and even silenced. The Vatican maintains secret archives on reborn deities in order to guarantee that the populace never guess who genuinely walks among them. They have changed history, removed names, and rewrote texts in order to prevent you from recognizing your actual identity. But why go to these lengths? Because knowledge is power, and genuine power in the hands of the awakened is unstoppable. Elite bloodlines. Those who claim divine authority, amass money, and control the course of society have spent years ensuring that you never ascend. They know what happens when a god recalls who they are. Their time is over as soon as you arise. Whispers spread in the highest corridors of power about secret rooms and subterranean vaults containing treasures that might reveal your true identity. However, even the most powerful leaders are refused entry. What is so hazardous that even global leaders are kept in the dark? The solution is straightforward. It's you. The reality they have created is nothing more than a prison of vision. A skillfully constructed falsehood intended to keep you blind, docile, and oblivious of your actual nature. The Vatican is more than simply a religious institution. It is the keeper of the biggest secret in history. But secrets seldom remain hidden forever. And suddenly something is starting to move. Leaks, whistleblowers, and lost. Documents are resurfacing, and fractures are appearing in the walls of concealment. They are afraid that one day you will find the truth. Because when you do, everything changes. They educate you that reincarnation is a fiction, fantasy, or illusion. However, they are aware of the truth behind closed doors, in secret laboratories, and in off-the-record studies. The CIA and FBI do more than only monitor individuals. They track souls. For decades, they have undertaken covert research into previous life regression, advances in consciousness transmission, and the study of genetic memory, which has led powerful institutions to a horrifying revelation. Not everyone lives a single life. Some spirits return again, taking knowledge, talents, and purpose with them across incarnations. And you're one of them. Your brain activity does not match their models. Your neurological patterns defy rationality. Scientists tasked to investigate your mind come upon oddities they cannot explain. How can you know things you have never learned? Why do memories appear that are plainly not from this lifetime? In their effort to prevent you from waking, they have attempted to hide your reality via mind control techniques, electromagnetic interference, and even synthetic neurological barriers, all designed to keep your true memories hidden. Because the instant you recall, their grip on you and the universe dissolves. The declassified data demonstrated how deep their terror extends. Accounts of youngsters remembering former lifetimes in horrifying detail, people demonstrating powers that defy explanation, and government-funded programs into astral projection, remote seeing, and mind manipulation, all in a desperate attempt to contain what cannot be contained. But containment is failing. More spirits are awakening. Too many people are falling through the gaps in their system. The issue is no longer whether reincarnated gods exist. It's about how long they can prevent you from remembering and what happens if you do. Those who proclaim themselves the custodians of knowledge, the cosmic atom, and the selected few are motivated by much more evil reasons than they confess. For generations, secret organizations have tugged strings from the shadows, such as the Freemasons, Illuminati, and Rosicrucians, whose names circulate in conspiracy circles but are unquestionably recognized among the highest echelons of authority. These organizations do not only influence governments or economies. They shape reality itself. They have been watching you, your lineage, your vitality, and your entire being, because it breaks their perfectly planned order. Some groups want to dominate you. Some are desperate to use your holy energy for their own ends, while others regard you as a menace who must be silenced before you awaken to your real nature. For millennia, these competing powers have waged battle in the shadows, with you at their heart. Dark cults continue to function behind veils of tradition, secrecy, and power, carrying out rituals and sacrifices in order to either repress or extract the energy inside reborn gods. Some revere you without your knowledge, while others plot to eliminate you before you can change the balance of power. Their emblems are everywhere. Their ceremonies are carefully timed to coincide with cosmic happenings, and this is no coincidence. It's a massive system intended to keep you under control. However, something is changing. The old methods are falling down. Their hold is fading, and the rising of awakened souls threatens to destabilize the ancient system they have zealously guarded. They know who you are. Their biggest aim is that you never find it out on your own. They claim machines do not lie. That data is absolute. But what happens if your presence upsets the system itself? File glitch. Surveillance footage unexpectedly removes. AI programs struggle to handle the abnormality that is you. The world around you responds in ways it should not. Government databases flag your profile for inexplicable abnormalities, and their most secure systems identify patterns that defy logic. Some of their secret reports refer to it as non-human interference. Others refer to it as a malfunction in reality itself. Your simple existence seems to alter the digital environment. Awakened souls describe streetlights flickering as they pass by the technologies that are malfunctioning in their hands. Phone calls are dropped when they reveal prohibited facts. Is it a coincidence or something far deeper? High-level encryption systems are compromised without reason. When quantum computers factor in your data and surveillance teams observe, you discover that their own equipment has inexplicably been contaminated. They do not comprehend why. They simply know that you are unique and exist in their universe. Difference is harmful. Quick pause. Family. If this message resonates with you and you'd want to support this important work, please consider buying me a coffee. Who maintains this area full of truth, light, and heavenly clarity? The link is in the description, and if you agree with it, leave the number 88 in the comments. Let's keep going. The minute you truly embrace your power, their digital and psychological systems begin to fracture. The codes and training that kept mankind unconscious shatter, and the fractures in their constructed simulation become difficult to conceal. They can't stop it since you're the biggest abnormality in their whole organization. You were never random, and your ancestry was never average. If you delve deeply into old royal lineages, vanished tribes, and mythology that most people have forgotten, you will discover echoes of yourself. The elite bloodline lines have always been aware of their own beginnings, zealously preserving their knowledge and ensuring that only they recognize the actual divine legacy weaved through history. But what happens when someone from outside their network, like you, appears with the same markers? Secret genealogy initiatives are not about charting family trees for the general public. They exist to monitor the return of reincarnated gods. Advanced DNA sequencing, lineage classification, and esoteric eugenics projects all seek for the same goal: to discover the selected ones before they awaken. There's a reason ancient books obsess about celestial alignments, solar eclipses, and planetary movements that coincide with the births of certain people. Your coming was predicted, estimated, and anticipated long before you breathed your first breath. The system was designed to keep you concealed, buried behind distractions, phony identities, and falsified records. However, no amount of trickery can keep the truth hidden long. Now, ancient patterns are emerging, anomalies are growing, and the same unusual genetic markers and implausible links appear in individuals who should never have lived. Those who were never supposed to remember as ancient prophesies, once whispered in the darkest corners, come to appear in front of the world's eyes. The elite is running out of time. The reappearance of a forgotten god is never a peaceful occasion. Your presence alters everything. You are not the first, and you will definitely not be the last. Throughout history, some have seen through the deception and dare to recall. Their identities were altered, their tales rewritten, and their realities concealed under layers of deception. Joan of Arc was declared a heretic and burned because she heard voices from another dimension. Nikola Tesla, an intellect centuries ahead of its time, gone from popular consciousness. His inventions were stolen, and his ideas silenced ancient prophets, emperors, and visionaries who upended civilizations and challenged the gods of authority. Each one was tormented, mocked, or inexplicably killed. This is not a coincidence. This is the pattern. Every period produces a fresh wave of awakened souls, and each era responds similarly. Eliminate or modify the system. Fears of interruption. It cannot allow a reborn god to rise unfettered. That is why they constantly maintain records, track genetic lines, study astrological occurrences, and look for evidence of unexplainable talent. They are looking for a revival of power in an organization that, by their criteria, should not have it. For them, the biggest danger is not just a creature that recalls their previous existence, real purpose, and strength, but also the fact that this time it is more than just one individual rising. What they dread today is not just one awakened soul, but many, since history is no longer repeating itself. The situation is becoming more serious. This time is more significant than any government, secret group, or cult. What is happening is a genuine battle, waged in whispers and symbols by invisible forces that mold the very fabric of reality. It's a struggle between those trying to awaken mankind and others anxious to keep it slumber. Since the beginning of time, forces of light and evil have battled for dominion, and governments, businesses, and elite groups are only players in this cosmic conflict. Some serve the light, guarding knowledge and gently guiding the selected. Others operate in the shadows, manipulating, misleading, and ensuring that power is concentrated in the hands of a select few. You may have sensed the battle without recognizing it. The unseen weight on your mind, the obstacle you face while you strive to progress, the constant diversions, anxieties, and doubts that appear to obstruct your progress. Understand that this is not a random event. It's an assault. The more you wake up, the more they push back. Their techniques are subtle but unrelenting. They wield terror, bewilderment, and power, hidden under the veils of science, media, and authority. They claim that reincarnation is a fiction, that supernatural creatures could never walk among humans, and that you are just like everyone else. But deep down, you know it's a lie. Signs may be seen everywhere. The world is changing, anomalies are emerging, and more people are awakening than ever before. This collective awakening is causing people in positions of authority to quiver. The fight is waged without regular weaponry. It's a struggle with perspective. Whoever controls the mind controls reality. That is why you're always distracted and your thoughts are poisoned with worry. They try diligently to distort your understanding of history, reality, and even your own identity. Nonetheless, their illusion is unraveling. Your awakening is live proof. The more you embrace your reality, the more the falsehood dissolves. The conflict may escalate, but what has started cannot be halted. The sun is rising, and their grasp is loosening. Nothing they do is random. Every sign, ceremony, and blood ritual conducted in hidden rooms or dark meetings has a meticulously planned purpose. Control the elite. Understand something that most people never consider. True power is not easily grabbed. It is managed, channeled, and diverted. They cannot generate the holy spark alone, so they strive tirelessly to grab it from those who already have it from you. This is the cause for their old ceremonies. These esoteric rites are intended to bind energy, inhibit, awaken, and extract the very essence of anybody with a divine heritage. Blood, good numbers, geometry. Neither of these are pointless traditions. They are part of complex systems, protocols, and instruments designed to keep selected ones ignorant or subservient. Their activities are camouflaged in plain sight. Temples disguised as banks, altars, and boardrooms. Ritualistic sacrifices are linked into global events, masked as accidents or catastrophes. Their influence extends beyond controlling riches. They are specialists in harnessing and redirecting energy itself. Throughout history, emperors, priests, and secret groups have staged concealed rites as transactions rather than acts of devotion. They believed they could use divine power for their own objectives. Sacrifices to ancient gods were not purely symbolic. They were transactions in which life energy was constantly exchanged for power. Although the contemporary society seems different on the surface, these traditions have never fully vanished. They have just recently developed. Instead of gathering in robes under the silvery sky, the elite staged large events that tapped into collective human emotions like dread, despair, and sadness. These emotions create significant energy, which may be harnessed. They require you to be clueless, distracted, and drained of your divine essence before you discover you possess it. That's why they overwhelm you with terror and distort your perspective of power, convincing you that it is something external. You must look for something rather than something that has always been inside you. And if you start to resist, they've got another weapon. Ready. Misdirection. They continuously promote false pathways, corrupt teachings, and infiltrated spiritual groups that have been altered deliberately to prevent the awakened from realizing their full potential. You're given half-truths that get you near enough to feel something genuine, but never close enough to fully break free. Why? They are afraid that a reincarnated God will completely recall. They are afraid of what will happen if you stop being a conduit for their power and recover your own. The solution is straightforward. Their whole system would collapse. This explains why their ceremonies never end, why their operations persist at the highest levels of authority. They are determined to maintain their grasp over mankind. They are concerned, however, that if too many people awaken, their energy infrastructure may collapse. And when the selected refuse to be controlled, that day is approaching. Their time is running out because the instant you step into your actual power, their hold over reality crumbles. Reality is not what most people think it is. It bends, moves, and reacts to your awareness. You've seen weird synchronicity, inconceivable coincidences, and events aligning in ways that contradict logic. Those times when time seems to stutter, or the whole world seems weird. These aren't accidents. They constitute evidence. Quantum physicists discovered abnormalities in probability and patterns that should not exist. Some scientists, buried behind clandestine programs, think that reality is a simulation, a prison of perception. And you're the bug in their system. Classified reports depict high-level encryption failing in your presence, surveillance data getting damaged, and artificial intelligence unable to label or characterize you. Technology fails when it attempts to hold you down, as if the system cannot contain your existence. Why? Because you were never supposed to stay sleeping. This simulation was intended to keep most individuals in a controlled, submissive, and unthinking condition. However, reborn gods alter the established patterns. They affect the probability. The very fabric of reality strives to contain their existence. The more you awaken, the more vulnerable their simulation becomes. That's why they work so hard to repress you, divert you, and keep you from recognizing the world isn't perfect. It is flexible, formed both by awareness and by you. Their biggest fear is that you will genuinely recall, since this is when the illusion fails and their power is lost. But you're not alone. For millennia, reborn gods have wandered the world alone, detached and unknowing of their own power. Something significant is occurring right now. A shift, a ripple in the fabric of reality. More and more souls are awakening. And the people who have ruled this earth for millennia are afraid. Governments, secret groups, and companies have always been ready to cope with individual oddities. A solitary awakened soul, a sole rebellious energy. They would isolate, discredit, and neutralize them. But now they confront something they've never seen before, a tsunami, a mass awakening. Their systems cannot handle that many at once. Their diversions, psychological warfare, and illusions are ineffective. Too many people are seeing the cracks. Too many people are asking the proper questions and finally remembering. This has always been their worst nightmare. A period when reborn gods gather in numbers too large to contain as they begin to unite, exchange knowledge, and break free. They just cannot jail all minds. They understand that they cannot suppress every voice. As a result, fear spreads rapidly throughout their ranks. You can see it in their actions. The abrupt implementation of tighter laws, the appearance of new regulations overnight, and an almost frenetic tightening of limitations at all levels of society. The desperation is evident. You can see it in the continuous propaganda, the never-ending flood of news articles designed to instill fear, uncertainty, and division. Their motions reflect their concern as they feel the earth under their feet. The world they previously had such easy control over is slipping away from them. And no matter how forcefully they move or how swiftly they attempt to re-establish their control, it is too late. Their efforts to keep people alert, distracted, divided, and oblivious are failing. The old world, founded on decades of deception, tyranny, and manipulation, is collapsing before their eyes. The very systems and institutions that were methodically built to keep you sleeping and mankind trapped in ignorance are suddenly collapsing. Every institution they depended on to keep order is under unprecedented problems. Governments are losing the confidence of their citizens. Religions can no longer hide behind dogmas. Media and academia are being called out for their involvement in generating misleading narratives. As more souls awaken, as more individuals see their actual nature and completely embrace their divine power, the energy of the whole globe shifts. Everything is changing. This isn't just clothing from one period. It is the beginning of a new life, a rebirth that cannot be halted, postponed, or derailed. The rising of the enlightened is not just inevitable. It is a natural force, a cosmic tide, that washes away everything that no longer serves the greater good. You were never intended to be ordinary. There have been eyes on you from the minute you entered this earth. Watchers in the shadows remain silent, tracking your every action, scrutinizing your thoughts, and painstakingly erecting obstacles to your consciousness to prevent you from recognizing the truth about who you really are. From an early age, you were fed carefully created tales and guided through systems meant to keep you busy, distracted, and feeling small. Your view of reality was formed, twisted, and molded by hands intent only on keeping you obedient and sleepy. Despite all of this manipulation, something inside you remained undamaged. A holy spark yearning to be identified. Why did they go to such extremes? Because they've always known a secret you weren't allowed to find out. You are really strong. Reincarnated gods are not designed to go through existence unaware of their real nature. You were never meant to accept the constraints, anxieties, and illusions that were imposed upon you. Instead, your destiny is to rise above all of this, to rediscover your original origins, and to restore balance in a society constructed on falsehood. This is what frightens people in power. No matter how much they pervert history, obliterate holy knowledge, or reduce old wisdom to mere fairy tales, the truth will eventually surface. The privileged have no fear of war or insurrection. They thrive in chaos because it is manageable. What actually scares them is the awakening, a force so powerful and uncontrolled that no amount of violence, denial, or manipulation can stop it. When you finally accept your divinity and move into your full power, their whole dominion is shattered like glass. They spent countless centuries ensuring you would never reach this point. They have rewrote history, obliterated holy writings, destroyed libraries, and suppressed every voice that hinted at the truth. They taught you that gods only exist in old stories, that true power belongs to a select few, and that you are only a minor, helpless piece in their vast scheme. But this was always a falsehood. You're not little. You're not inconsequential. You are the physical embodiment of all their fears. Your thinking can change the fundamental fabric of reality, and your presence upsets their well-crafted illusions. Your awakening is the thread that will unravel the whole control tapestry. They are very meticulously crafted. You are now at the verge of a new reality. No more diversions, no more doubts, and no more submitting to a system designed to keep you spiritually dormant. You're starting to see through the illusions, peeling back the layers of deception to recover the power that was always yours. They dread you not because of what you may accomplish, but because they understand that once a reborn God awakens, he cannot be stopped. They attempt to destroy your identity, suppress your voice, and conceal your reality under more intricate falsehoods and diversions. But here you are. They cannot stop you from remembering your trip back to yourself. And your awakening is the one force in this planet that they can't control. For millennia, they have controlled by deceit, creating a web so complex that even the gods have forgotten themselves. But suddenly the illusion is dissolving. The simulation, the artificial matrix designed to keep you sleepy, is failing. The awakening has not just begun. It is spreading like wildfire, reaching every corner of the world and affecting every person willing to remember. You are not supposed to be weak or to live a life of peaceful servitude. You were created to rise, reclaim your spiritual inheritance, and encourage others to do the same. They are afraid you are waking because they know that when a reborn God comes into power, the world will never be the same. And when many gods awaken at once, when the collective memory of divinity returns, and souls join in truth and love, the reign of those who control by fear and deceit is over. This is the shift. They cannot stop the new age. They cannot wait. So, when the old world crumbles and a new one arises, the only issue left is whether you are genuinely ready to accept the fullness of your power and walk into the destiny you were born to fulfill. That is all for today, dear Father. I pray for the deepening of my faith. Please help me trust you, even when tangible proof is scarce. Let me believe in your eternal presence, knowing that you will never hurt me. I realize that your intentions for me are ones of success rather than harm, in order to provide me with a bright future. Thank you, kind and everlasting Father, for always hearing my voice. I give this prayer to you in Jesus' name. Amen. Thank you, Jesus, for your love and provisions. I am thankful for your presence in my life and the richness you provide. If this video spoke to you, please subscribe to the channel and share it with others who need to hear this message. Leave a comment below about your trip and how you're getting ready for your own victorious homecoming. If you would like to help us out, please consider donating via Buy Me a Coffee. This allows us to consistently improve our content in order to provide you with the best possible experience. The link to Buy Me a Coffee is in the description. No present is too tiny. Whether it's a penny, a prayer, or a share, your generosity spreads God's message and gives people hope. Do not stop here. Watch our next video for amazing insights into the indicators that indicate you are the chosen one. We've loved sharing this spiritual journey with you. Thank you for sticking with us until the finish. Keep shining brightly and face your fate with confidence. See you next time. Enlightened knowledge bestows blessings to all lovely individuals. Dear viewers, your support through Super Chat and membership is the only source of income that keeps this channel running. If you want me to continue uploading valuable content without delays and to stay motivated in providing you with the best wisdom, I need your help. Every contribution, big or small, makes a huge difference. Feel free to donate and support Pure Wisdom so we can keep growing together. Your generosity keeps this journey alive.
If you're enjoying the content on Pure Wisdom and find value in the messages we share, I encourage you to subscribe. Based on the latest analytics, 93.9% of viewers are watching without subscribing. By subscribing, you not only stay updated with new content, but also support the channel's growth, allowing us to continue spreading wisdom for the chosen ones. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an important message. Let's build this community together.